Hey guys, this is Greg Brock and Nick Keller, Atlas Premier Realty, and today we're going to be bringing you a few myths that need to be debunked about the real estate industry and buying a house.
Yeah. So the first one is we'll get a better deal if we just work with the listing agent. This is kind of a long-going myth here. Just think about it from a logical perspective. The listing agent is paid by who? The seller.
Correct.
And they're paid to do what?
Represent the seller's best interest and get as much money in their pocket as possible.
So how can they get you the best price and get the seller the best price? Can't work that way. So that's not true. You want somebody that's working on your behalf and representing your best interest. And look, the best interest doesn't just stop at negotiation of putting in your offer. Right. There's best interests that need to be represented throughout the transaction, inspections, closing, the whole 9 yards. So there's a lot at play there. You want to make sure you have an agent that's representing your best interests, and that's not always the listing agent.
One thing that somebody told me was it's likening it to if you were in a lawsuit with somebody and you were using the same exact lawyer.
It's not all that different.
Next one is sellers have to fix anything that's wrong with a property when it comes up on a home inspection report. Not true. Not true at all.
Especially these days.
Yeah. Sellers in the driver's seat in our current market, and you can come back with repair requests. And a lot of times, most people are open to making repairs that are items that were neglected or deferred maintenance, but you're not going to get any cosmetic repairs, and they don't have to do anything. You can request repairs, and they can tell you no, and you can walk away. And if you have a good agent, then you can walk away and keep your earnest money deposit, and it's no big deal. But you're not going to get all the repairs done.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just expectation. No house is perfect, and just be reasonable.
Yep.
So the next one is there's no such thing as a perfect house, which is true. And a lot of times people get stuck looking for all the bells and whistles and no nail pops and no seams and drywall showing and just no scuffs in the walls and things like that. And these things are all very minor in general, but oftentimes we'll see people move on from a house that checks all the boxes, like location, size, flow from room to room, things that aren't easily changed, but they'll walk away because something easily aesthetic that can be changed. Yeah. Little bit of wallpaper or carpet or things like that. So you got to get into this knowing that there is not a perfect house out there. I built a new house, and I can tell you there was imperfections almost immediately after moving in. So just getting in with the right expectation that there's no perfect house, and the things that you can't change should take priority: location, size, number of bedrooms, bathrooms. Those are harder things to change.
Yeah, checkmate the main boxes. Mm-hmm. The next one is that online estimates of value are more accurate than what you're going to get from your local real estate agent. That one gets pretty annoying, I'm not going to lie. And the reason is that it's really all it is an algorithm based on data, and they literally do not have cameras that go into the property and see what the condition is like and the updates. There's no way for them to know anything that property owner has done to the property in a negative or a positive light.
It's just an estimate.
It's just an estimate.
Yeah.
That's why it's
computer generated.
A zestimate.
Yeah. Next one is it's smart to offer under the asking price on the house that you want and expect to negotiate up. I guess I would say this. Yes and no. Depends on the market. In this market, depending on the situation, absolutely not. If you're going in there looking for a deal, right now this is not a deal to be had market for buyers. So go in with the right expectation that if you find a house that's perfect for you and it's in great condition and you really love the house, I would say in this market you get ready to be aggressive.
It may take a couple of times for it to really sink in. Unfortunately, it takes a couple of times for some people to realize that there isn't an opportunity to go in low and get a deal right now. But we're selling everything at list price or higher right now. So the next one we're going to talk about actually goes back to the seller repairs. It's a myth that you can renegotiate the price after the inspection repairs. Now, you can, but the sellers don't have to. And Nick and I often talk about this. Every part of the process and each contingency is a different negotiation. So if you've already negotiated the price, that negotiation is over. It's off the table. And then when you get to the inspections, that's a separate negotiation. So it's not a given that when you get through the inspections that you can ask for the price to be reduced. Especially in this market, you can't reduce the price and ask for repairs.
Yeah, I just wouldn't go into it with the expectations, oh, we'll renegotiate the price come inspection time.
Right.
Wrong way to look at it.
Yep.
Next one is we'll just worry about, we want to look at houses right now, we'll worry about getting a loan later or getting pre-approved. That's one, I mean, it's backwards. Two, we don't even know, you're wasting your time and your real estate agent's time and the seller who is getting their family out of the house so you can see the house time if we don't know that you can even afford the house. So you want to set yourself up for the right expectations. So a lot of that is knowing the numbers ahead of time and then knowing that you can confidently, afford the houses that you're looking at. The pre-approval is like your golden ticket to the chocolate factory. So
I like chocolate.
Yeah, me too. I like Willy Wonka. So, so you want to get pre-approved first because you know that you're looking at houses in your price range with confidence, knowing that the numbers are going to work for you.
So another thing on that is I tell our buyers every time we're leaving a property that they might have interest in is if they're not pre-approved before we get in, there was somebody who just saw it 15 minutes before you that is going back to the office to prep an offer while you're getting ready to call a lender. So we're already behind the 8 ball by the time you've left the property. So get that done, first step, that way you don't get emotionally involved in a property and then lose out. Next one is all lenders are basically the same. That's not true at all because there's only one great lender and his name is Matt Nader.
They're all different based on how they communicate. True story, but how they communicate, how they get things done, their workflow, how they problem solve and troubleshoot, because we know nothing in life goes perfectly. So you want to basically make sure that you're vetting the lenders that you're working with or considering working with. So we'll do a video on how to vet lenders too.
That's a great idea.
And then the last one is rates are great right now. Everything's going really well. I'm going to buy other expensive stuff. So this is a really easy way to just absolutely destroy a real estate transaction. So would avoid putting anything on credit like furniture, jewelry. So don't go out and buy an engagement ring right away when you go under contract to buy a house. Cars. You want to avoid any big purchases on credit while you're in transaction to buy a house.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us. Feel free to reach out if you have any suggestions on other topics and if you have any questions about our local real estate market. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.